How are we doing, folks? I'm here to talk to you today about Marathon, a seemingly very controversial topic in the gaming sphere right now for many reasons, but I'm here to give you a perspective on somebody who has been religiously playing Arc Raiders, and I'm not a big PvP guy at all. I usually play single player games or like Helldivers, Arc Raiders, and some other, very casual games. Not an extraction shooter kind of guy. Arc Raiders is the only extraction shooter I've ever really ever got into, and that's more of an extraction adventure game. But I loaded into the server slam, I guess what over a week and a half ago. Kind of just like, oh, why not? I have room on my Xbox to download it. Let's just see what it is. It's probably gonna be terrible because I was upset the way that Bungie took Destiny like a long time ago. By like Destiny 2, I was kind of pretty much done after that whole thing kind of wrapped up a little, but I thought I'd tried Marathon out, and I thought it was weird at first. It had weird colors, weird UI, everything's just very different, but the soundtrack and the vibe are crisp as shit. It was kind of like a psychedelic experience watching some of the animations they have. It was truly, you know, its own art form or art style, which I appreciate, or a little bit of originality. Then when I started shooting enemies and other players, that's when it really clicked for me that the gunplay was superb. It was amazing, and as me, an old man nearing 32 years old, I grew up. I cut my teeth on the old Halo 3 and Halo Reach games, Call of Duty, and that such. But I was particularly a fan of Halo and just you know Halo death matches. And then I played in the Crucible with the Destiny, and uh, when I played Marathon, that just clicked. Those same muscle memories turned on for me, and you know, I'm not good at PvP, especially in Arc Raiders. I am terrible. I stay in the Care Bear lobbies because I'm my reaction time with that game is only good with the Arc, not other players. But in Marathon, I was able to pick it up, and someone who hasn't hardcore PvP'd in like better part of a decade, I was able to get in there and be able to hold my own, get some kills, and it felt good. And yeah, you know, time to kill can be fairly quick in that game, but it's it feels balanced. I know they just made some changes the day I'm recording this, as the first update came out, but uh, the game does a lot of similar things that Arc Raiders does, which keeps me hooked. Which when you lose your stuff, it hurts, but you get free gear all the time. There's sponsored kits, there's free stuff in the store. The factions are always giving you different I guess different materials and ammo and supplies and guns just for completing quests. And it's kind of like in Arc Raiders where like you can complete the quest, and if you die during it, you'll still complete it and you kind of get rewards and points. There is still a progression even when I'm dying a lot in Marathon. Marathon I die, what, 60, 70% of the time. Solo runs, I'm a little better because I can kind of control what's going on. I don't have any friends to play this with as of yet, so I've been doing squad fill, which in most games it can be pretty difficult, but people are pretty friendly, and if they don't have a mic, they usually will follow orders ish, and if they don't, then they can go and get themselves killed. I'll use them as bait for the other team. But now this game is great because it has all the best parts of Halo and Destiny combat, where there's like has to be somewhat of a skill to be able to like know how to do things and utilize your shell or your class that you're doing, but also unlike normal deathmatch games, especially ones that Destiny is used to when I'm playing PvP, this rewards you for being slow and methodical and stealthy and choosing your shots and what you would decide to go do on a raid. It's very rewarding in that fact. And I really did not expect to like this game. I came in going like it's a little oversaturated. It's gonna be like it looks like a weird Fortnite battle royale, but it's grown on me quite a bit, and I like the lore a lot. I'm a sucker for the lore, and there's so much lore in this game, especially since Marathon's a IP that's 6 months younger than myself. Good lord, but there like the faction progression is something that I really wish we had in Arc Raiders because being able to like quote like not really pledge allegiance because you can do all the factions even though each faction kind of like has conflicting interests. You can get paid by whichever one, doesn't matter, you can do all of them, which I kind of think would be cool if they maybe made a change where because everything's in a season, and like after 3 months, you get everything wipes again. I would think it'd be cool to kind of pledge to only one or two factions per season, and then that way, like next season, maybe you go and do, Traxxas or New Chloric or something instead of trying to even think of the names, uh, Arcane and the other ones. I'm not going to sit here and name all the factions for you, but either way, the faction progression is pretty cool. You get different skins unlocked for making it out with sponsored kits. Different rewards give you like different ranks and different things to unlock that kind of build up your character. You know, and that's not even including the shell. That's just including like different things with like your loot space, how much credits you can hold, how much it's really in depth. But the game does a really good job of making progression seem fun and worthwhile. And I'm, I'm kind of a sucker for all of the skins are really easy to unlock on your guns, and they're bright, funky colors with like little charms and stickers you can put on them. And so it's cool even when I get a sponsored kit. It's just a plain gun. If I have that gun, in my loadout customized to my specific colors, it will just load up my skin on there. And so there's always like that air of personality with your guns and even your shell. I'm hoping they add a lot more customization with your your character, because right now it's just like recoloring of the skins, which I can accept that at the beginning. But I guess that kind of goes into my number one gripe with the game is I don't like the characters. I don't like the shells. They're kind of growing on me, but like Destroyer looks the coolest. Triage is what I use all the time. But a lot of them seem very Fortnite-y, especially like no shade on like the female characters, just like the very like punk-esque, like cyberpunk spiked hair. I was like, whatever. Like, didn't really do it for me. So that's not really a big gripe. I just kind of hope there's like more customization on like maybe you could change like the hairstyle, the hair things on like hair color, just different augments or something on your shell, just to make your character look a little bit more unique. But that's pretty low bar because when you actually get into the game, you're not, for one, it's first person, so you're not really looking at your character a lot. But I'm a sucker for being able to customize my guy more, and so I kind of want to be able to put like different helmets on. If even I'm wearing a triage, do I have to you know just look like that one guy? I kind of would like to customize things a little bit more. That's what I do like about Arc Raiders. You can just be whatever you look like and play however you want. But still, there's the different versatility between the classes are interesting, and that's what I think is going to be a strong suit for this game is depending on your play style, you'll fall in love with certain I guess shells. Mine is definitely the triage. I've been really, honing in on him, and that one works for me very well, being a healer and keeping myself alive. But as I kind of get better at the game, I might lean more towards like the thief or uh, go back to the destroyer because he's pretty aggressive, and when I can, I'm still not the greatest at PvP, but I've taken down a handful of other runners, and squad fill is great when you are when you work with your team and you just like try and stick with them, it can be a load of fun to like, survive other ambushes and get through all the, robots or, environment. What are they called? The UESC. I want to call them the UNSC after Halo, but yeah, the AI on the game are fun and they're cool to fight, and uh, I've just been having a blast with it. Hopping in and just exploring the maps and uh, you know earning different things for my factions, and it's been really cool. And it's just it can be really intense, pretty heart pounding. So as someone who's new to extraction shooters, this is a great next step after Arc Raiders. When I want to be PvE and friendly, I can play Arc Raiders and, have a more casual experience, which I can still get into PvP there if I felt like it, or, when some rat tries getting me. But in Marathon, it is just strictly PvP. And you can still talk to other people in proxy chat, which is cool, which I try to, but people don't really respond. Uh, but I feel way more comfortable even just like, there's not that personal feeling as it was in Arc Raiders. Like killing someone feels, just like it would be in like Halo or Destiny, but then you get their loot, and so it's even more rewarding. So I mainly think of it like a Halo deathmatch where you try not to die, and if you don't, you get out with all the guns you acquired during the game. So I don't know, but this is kind of my little rant on Marathon. As I see, it's people think it sucks and they have a lot of issues with it, and whatever. That's, if you don't like the way the game plays out, valid, that's fine. Don't like the way the game looks, valid, that is fine. But if you are someone who enjoys Halo, just like the core like gunplay of Halo or Destiny and like the Crucible, I strongly advise you to check this game out, because that alone made me want to buy this game, and I did. I pre-ordered it a day before it came out, just frankly because yeah, I had no intentions of buying it, but it was so addicting. Just fighting other people and getting their loot, and that's something I don't usually get out of my Arc Raider Extraction, because I'm not kind of a PvP player in that game. So this really scratched my PvP itch. And if you are similar to me in that area, where maybe you even like PvP in Arc Raiders, but now you want to do it in Marathon. If you like it in Arc Raiders, you're going to love it in Marathon. But if you don't like PvP at all, you might definitely like it in Marathon, honestly. But I think I've ranted to you guys at all, and you've seen enough of my footage to make a judgment call for yourself. But that's my 2 cents on this. So without further ado, thank you for listening to me, guys. I greatly appreciate it. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.